what are the food? Could you explain this, tell us some specific foods that are the biggest culprit in contributing to childhood obesity?
Okay, definitely. So we've spoken about formula. So what I just also want to say is that once you start weaning foods, you need to decrease the amount of milk that is consumed.
Because otherwise you're doubling,
You're doubling up the calories. So in essence, that would happen naturally, and the child would do that naturally on the breast. He would just naturally, because you reach a plateau at about 5 to 6 months of volume that you need to feed the child. Okay, or to get the right amount of calories for that growing body.
And somehow the breast milk may start.
It does change. It does change. It really does change composition. The studies have shown that. So it reaches a plateau, and that volume reaches a plateau, and then you start the solids. So what's so important is that there's a crossover where the amount of milk needs to go down, and the amount of solids needs to go up. Okay, so that baby has to be ready. It's got to be interested in food. It's going to be obviously not as satisfied as it was with the milk anymore, and they can't be bobbing their heads. Okay, so they've got to have good head control. So 6 months is what the World Health Organization says, but there's also been studies now saying that that might not be for every single child the critical point. So I always say 5 months onwards, and sometimes even 4.5 months, depending on that particular child. Everybody's different, and this is where we end up in trouble. Is we're all unique, but you've got to use that and see what is this particular child's needs.
True.
And so weaning foods, what do you start with them? So yes, that is a problem now, because processed foods are what people are weaning their children onto. So go back to lifestyle medicine. Whole food, plant-based. Okay, that's what food should look like. Okay, so that 6-month-old should wean on, in my mind, vegetables. As the first trajectory as you're moving them through. Okay, and fruit. Okay, but not as much as we can, not store-bought. But it's not always that easy. But now, if you're going to the baby count, I mean, think about when you were first a father and you went into a baby city. That area for weaning foods was relatively small. Now it's double.
Double is big.
Now it's double. And what's changed? Not the whole food plant-based, or the natural foods, the potato, the carrot, the pumpkin. That's not changed. What's changed is the processing of that. And the marketing and the boxing.
And all the purees.
So good old purity actually was not bad. Compared to what we've got now, because now things come in sachets and you can squeeze them and you can do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But in reality, all of that product has changed. You've got much more to choose from. Is it healthier?
Probably not.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
Not at all. Go back to basics. Go back to that basic butternut. Go back to that basic carrot. Go back to that basic spinach. Go back to your basic food groups, because whether you believe in God or not, this planet and this way that we've made and the way things work is unbelievable. We are designed to eat that fruit and veg. And where are all the vitamins and minerals? They're in fruit and vegetables.
True.
Then people say, we'll talk about nyama next, meat. Because that's another big question. But really, all our vitamins and minerals are in fruit and vegetables. So let's start the baby on that. Also, you can cook it and puree it to a smooth consistency.
Consistency. I mean, the purity thing's issue is not how pureed they are; it's how they highly processed, and also they make sure they're very palatable, which becomes, the kids become hooked on them.
Sweet,
high sweet, and probably a little bit more sugar and oil as well. That becomes an issue.